What's up, everybody? How you doing? I know. Look, hey, look. Like I told you, all right? I told you we were going to be gone. Get the podcast. DC decided to help me out by giving us something to do like a surprise podcast about. Now, this ain't no video. This audio. This real quick. This unscripted. Bam, this freeform jazz, baby. This is Liza Minnelli live in concert, but not live. Secret show. Got knocked twice. Who's that? Chit Chat Podcast. Trae D. Price joining me. You know him from the Green Arrow on CW. Writer, director, starring in the movie Code 8. Was on wrestling at one time. Stephen Amell.
Hello. Thank you for having me on, Trae.
What's that? That's not Stephen Amell. You just got a random dude named Steve. The guy from last time? Oh, hell. Yeah, what's up, Steven? It's Stephen Mills, everybody, not Stephen Amell. Hey, what's up, Stephen? How you doing, brother?
See, I hear the disappointment in your voice, and this podcast is going to be short because of that. That resentment will grow in me.
Stephen, before you hate me and choke me with one of my 25 socks, let's talk about, man. Let's talk about all of this craziness that DC has thrown upon us, right? Because this DC fandom, man, this DC I don't know about you, because I don't know how you feel about the superhero movies. Because people, if you don't know, Steven is a movie connoisseur. You probably heard his voice a lot more now on the Movie Club podcast, filling your head with his witticisms, his intellectual knowledge about film. Whereas when I was doing it, it was just like, yeah, man, this is cool. But now, these funny book
it's pretty
movies,
much the same.
It's pretty much the same foolishness. You ain't getting no upgrades. But the DCs, how you feel about them?
I really enjoy DC. I really enjoy what they've been doing in the past couple of years with making things that seem different. They're more stylized. They're not always, they're not always the best things, like Suicide Squad 2016, directed by David Ayer. Which I will say that the first teaser for that movie looked very dark, looked good. And then, in production behind that, they messed it all up, released the Ayer cut.
Oh, no, please don't say that. Oh, God.
No, it's already started. It's already grown legs on the internet. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Doubt it. But anyway, I like what they did with I like what they did with Joker. They're releasing the Snyder cut. That looks good. The trailer for that, we'll jump into that later, probably. The Batman, oh my God, the Batman makes me want to cry. It looks so good. I really enjoy. I like the separate stories. I like that they can just do these one-offs. I don't think that they can always do it forever. I don't think they can just keep recasting the Flash and then have us go see the movies with like a different plot, whatever. I don't think that's financially viable for them. I would probably go see a lot of them if they had interesting filmmakers and all that stuff. They were taking risk, but I like what DC is doing as a whole. Is what I'm trying to say. Steven, they got off on the tangent.
I'm going to tell you, we're going to get into a lot of what you just said, but it's funny that you say that. Like, they can't just recast and keep, making the same movie with the same plots, because apparently you haven't been watching Batman for the past 30 years.
I meant on a consistent basis, like the
Steven, how long has it been since Batman v Superman? How long before that was it between Batman and the Nolan trilogy? How long before that was it between that and the Schumacher series, bro? Come on, bro.
I was talking about specifically the Marvel method, which is to make a universe and put out movies like 3 times a year. Okay. I meant they can't do that. They can't put out a new Batman movie every single year, recast him, and expect people to go see it.
Here's where DC is like, shut up, because we can do that. Because one of the things that came out, one of the announcements that came out of DC fandom was that Flashpoint, the movie that has been on the rocks for like the longest time, probably wasn't even hurt, but also wasn't helped by Ezra Miller choking out fans. But apparently that, and this is something that, because the story has been also like just back and forth on what the actual plot is going to be about. But we finally nailed it down that is going to be the start of the DC multiverse, right? So instead of where Marvel came out we had sequels, then we grew into trilogies. Then we maybe had some spinoffs here and there, you know, a movie character get a spinoff into his own film. Say what? Maybe. But then Marvel came in with the big bag called the universe. So DC said, "Oh, we got that. We tried it. We tried it your way. No. Now we're gonna give you what we had before, but market it better and call it a multiverse." Like, it's pretty much just like making like they're literally just like DC already had a multiverse. Like, we already had the Schumacher Batmans over here and Superman, and then Superman Returns. You know, like, we've had like all of these movies that you could say are in different universes, but they're just DC just saying we're just making movies. That's pretty much what this is gonna be. Is just that it's gonna be a movies, and maybe. Like, the thing that would have to prove to me that this would be like a cohesive thought is if they did exactly what you were saying. If they did, like, so they're in the new Flash movie, apparently Ben Affleck is going to show back up as Batman from the Justice League and Batman v Superman and whatnot. Michael Keaton is suiting back up as his version of Batman from the Tim Burton movies and the Schumachers and stuff like it. Was it Schumacher? No, Tim Burton did the first two, and he was Batman first. And
I'm excited for that.
What's his Val Kilmer ain't coming back. George Clooney ain't said. I know, right?
I wouldn't say all that. George Clooney's definitely not coming back.
Clooney ain't coming
on to bigger and better things. Val Kilmer's not doing anything. He's just doing direct video stuff.
They said Batman.
I was gonna say, he said, y'all said Batman. I'll come back in a flash.
He still got
get it.
Kill yourself.
I think that's the end of the podcast.
But if they had some kind of big and the thing is, they're already starting to do this. I think I think all of the bad press has helped in order to make this an actual thing. Like, all of the wrong decisions have helped them kind of course correct into just finally diving into the craziness that is comic books instead of running away from it like they've been doing so much. And that, you know, wasn't helped by the Nolan series being so popular. But now we have where I don't know if you've been watching like the CW TV series and whatnot.
No,
but they've had their own Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is a big storyline in the DC comics that happened like I think in the 90s or whatever, or the early 2000s. And
that's when they like all come together, right?
Right. And there's superhero like versions of themselves from different universes or whatever come together and fight off this like anti-monitor and all this stuff. But the Ezra Miller Flash actually showed up and met the television Grant Gustin Flash.
No, I'm sorry. We're not. No, I'm also the Flash.
You're also the what?
The Flash.
The Flash? The Flash?
It's complicated.
I like your outfit. It seems
Freaking
comfy.
yours is pretty cool.
Smooth.
Seems safe and
breathable. Found Barry Allen.
No.
Was Ezra Miller actually in there?
Ezra Miller, the actual him as the Flash.
What?
Met the
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that happened.
Wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yep. So
that's
like
how much I don't pay attention to TV.
But it was a big thing because it was something that like nobody thought was going to happen. You know?
Yeah,
that's crazy, right?
People were talking about that for like a really long time, like Green Arrow showing up in the movies, or someone in the films showing up in the show. Wow, I didn't know that. That's wow. That's
it was like a 13-second scene though, you know, so it wasn't like anything like huge. That's probably why you didn't hear about it, but still, I think it shows that there is some level of this that could lead to maybe a bigger Crisis on Infinite Earths or a Crisis on Earth 2, or there are so many multiverse like problems that happen. I mean, some of these characters could show up in the Flashpoint movie, so this could be a thing, but it's only a thing if DC lets it be a thing. You know, like if this isn't like Dark Universe all over again, where it's just the excitement is in the name, you know, if I think this could be really cool to see, and it allows them to have some creative freedom to make movies like Joker and this the Batman that's coming out, you know. And
I think that's really at the heart of what I really like about what they've been doing, because it's like they can have a Joker standalone movie, they can have the Batman, and they aren't tied to like, oh my God, we got to make them fit somehow, or like whatever. It's like they can be separate filmmakers. If a filmmaker has an idea, they go to DC, and it's like, if it's a good enough idea about the character, they can make a one-off. They can make a multiverse. You want to make fucking Ansel Elgort, you want to make him really young, like Nightwing or Batman or something, you can. And then it's like, okay, a filmmaker comes in the next day, you greenlight the Ansel Elgort one, and then another filmmaker comes in the next day, they're like, hey, I want Freddie Highmore to be Nightwing. And then they're like, okay, cool, we already have this other Nightwing movie going, we'll just do this one too. I if it's a good enough premise, then sure, people will go see it. And if it's good and has like stars attached, but I don't think, and I think they have enough characters to go through. They're already hitting the big ones like Wonder Woman. I don't think that they'll recast her anytime soon. Like Batman, Batman and Joker, they can redo. But people really like Wonder Woman. They really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and they really cherish Wonder Woman's standalone movie. If you want to call it standalone movie, it was part of the DCEU, but whatever. But like Batman vs Superman, not so much. It's like people didn't like that, and they're like, okay, sure, we'll erase the slate basically with Justice League, but also, y'all forgot about Zack Snyder. He's coming back. We got his cut coming out, and you guys.
Guy's probably
giving you what you want. The exact opposite of Netflix, who just cancels everything after you're like, oh, you like those 2 seasons of your favorite show, we're gonna cancel it. Doesn't make any sense. Everyone likes it, we're gonna cancel it. And DC's just like, hey, you want 3 Joker movies? Sure, we'll give it to you. I'm okay with that.
Joker back to back? Yes.
Yeah, yes. I mean, like I'm saying, I don't think that they should be releasing a Joker movie every single year. I don't think
DC heard that and was like, but we will. I think I'm playing.
I don't think that's smart, but I think that them giving the filmmakers complete creative freedom with their characters to have their own little world and do their own thing, I like that. That really plays into what I really don't like about Marvel with their cinematic universe, and it seems like it has to be a certain kind of movie. It has to fit into their universe. It seems like none of the movies really take a lot of creative freedom. They can't really be dark,
right?
Like DC can, and it's like there's like Shazam. Shazam's not a dark movie at all. And it's like, but that's part of the DCEU.
So, and that's part again, that's a part of them learning, right. Because they before they were the type to believe that everything had to be dark. Like the problem with DC that I think is over Marvel, because I do believe Marvel does allow themselves to be at least a little creative. Like everything might be a part of a formulaic formula, sure. But at least you could say Doctor Strange and Ant-Man is mad different than Captain America. Like on a visual standpoint at the most, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas visually, Man of Steel up until Wonder Woman, you could say the palette was visually the same. Like they believe things should be like actually dark and things should be just gritty and moody, and there was no life and levity, but they are learning. And I think that is I will, but they did have Zack Snyder directing like Man of Steel and then Justice League, and then they basically had one director making like all of the movies and like overseeing it. Like it's like if Kevin Feige directed 3 of the movies in the MCU at the beginning, and then they just like continue to look the same. But I mean, they do some of the movies. Yes, they do take creative freedoms, like.
Doctor Strange with his little twisty hand thing. And then, he makes the whole world shift like Inception. That is different. And then Ant-Man is more comedic and he can go small and all that stuff. But at the heart of it all, it's all like a lighter tone. And at the end, it's all kind of like feel good kind of thing.
Yeah, man, especially in Civil War where we talking about killing Tony's parents and shit. That shit was light. That shit was light as fuck. Anyway, this ain't that. This is a different podcast, Steven. This is a different podcast.
I was going to say, we can do this all day.
I will argue with you on this on another thing. But moving on, speaking of Shazam and all that stuff, damn, I was going to go somewhere else, but now you got me tripped up. But we do have the title of the next Shazam movie, and that is Shazam, Wrath of the Gods, Fury of the Gods, not Wrath of the Gods, Fury of the Gods. And there's a star coming in. You remember this guy from the Sinbad in the House. I forget what his movie credits are. Sinbad's coming back to be in the movie.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
But yes, we got Sinbad coming back, so that's gonna be cool. I can't wait to see. Still directed by David F. Sandberg, so that's gonna be really enjoyable. I can't wait to see what happens with that there.
Really for me, the only thing that I really needed to hear is David F. Sandberg's coming back. I am a David F. Sandberg fanboy, if that can even be a thing. I love everything that this man has done, internet wise and film wise. I mean, no, I wouldn't say, okay, I don't love everything he did internet wise, or I don't love everything that he has done. I love like his personality and like his YouTube channel and everything like that. I wouldn't say I love Shazam or love like Annabelle Creation or anything like that.
I still haven't seen, and I still haven't seen his horror stuff. I need to go back and see Lights Out and Annabelle Creation.
That's a movie club series right there. That'll take a whole month. Us going through the Conjuring universe and all that stuff. But I mean, David F. Sandberg being attached still excites me because one, I know he's going to get hella money. Two, which he deserves. Two, I liked the first. I liked Shazam. He did some nice things with it. I saw his little director trademarks in there, so it's not like I don't know. It felt like something that really felt personal to him, and like something that he had fun making, and it didn't feel like some big like corporation movie. It felt like he had his personal touches in there. Anyway, all right. I'll talk. I can talk about him all day. I mean, well, we could also talk about Dwayne "Rock" Johnson and Black Adam, Shazam's main antagonist, you could say, which is funny because we got to see, and we'll talk about this in a second, some footage of Suicide Squad. We got to see a trailer of the Batman, which I didn't think was going to show up in this. And we got a motion comic from Black Adam.
5,000 years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic. Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done.
Yeah.
Like it was like in Dwayne "Rock" Johnson put it on his Twitter, like it was some big shakes, like it's like, hey, it's coming, we got this here, you can't wait, and it's just like a bunch of concept art, set the music, and you'll know his story, you'll know who he was this, and then like, all right, bro, like you could have waited till you shot some footage. We ain't that excited about Black Adam. It's pretty much going to just be The Rock being The Rock on screen, but with superpowers, which is basically half of his movies anyway. So yeah. But what we do know from this is that apparently there's going to be the beginnings of the JSA. So we're going to see like Hawkman and actually Dr. Fate. We're gonna see an actual on-screen live-action movie, Dr. Fate, which Dr. Fate, if you don't know, is kind of like Doctor Strange, but his magic circles are onks. So Pretty
Very
much.
different.
Very
No,
different.
very
Very different. So yeah, that's pretty much the big thing coming out there. I don't think we have an actual date insofar as, you know, as we can have one in these Corona field times, but
yeah, I don't think that they. I mean,
oh no,
they haven't
it's
even
scheduled
started,
to hit December 22nd, 2021. But
they haven't even started filming, obviously, or else they would have had some
kind
footage,
of footage
like they did with the Batman. But it just feels like this Black Adam movie is. I mean, I guess maybe I feel like DC has been championing it and like trying to get it moving along more than like TheRock has.
Really? Because I think TheRock has been like. He's the one that's been like the pushing force behind this, man. Like if you follow him on like Instagram and stuff like that, like he is all about like his promotions about stuff like his Titan games and Black Adam. He's over here. He's the one that's been pushing. He probably told them to make a motion comic concept art trailer for Black Adam because he's been doing that on his like Instagram and stuff for the longest time. Talking about man.
I feel like DC has more to gain with TheRock being Black Adam.
Oh no, you're absolutely right about that.
So I feel like DC behind the scenes, they're like, okay, we have like they now. It feels like it's been like years. Like it feels like in like 2016, or like even before they announced TheRock was going to be Black Adam, and just nothing has happened. It feels like it's been like a really long time. And behind the scenes, I feel like they were like, oh my God, we have so many movies that we're going on, but we need to focus on TheRock because he's big. People will go see this movie if TheRock is in it. And so I don't know.
I agree, but I also feel like TheRock has also just been like, I feel like he does this with all of his movies to where he is just like, look, y'all gonna make it or I'm gonna make it. Like this, like I'll make it by myself. I will go out and actually lift rocks like I'm Black Adam. Like,
yeah.
don't think I won't. And this is what I'm saying. Like he's crazy. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of other different characters come out from that movie, so it'll be cool to see. So we'll move on to the new. The savior of the DC universe. Like forget all that Black Adam roster. Forget David F. Sandberg, your hubby. Forget him. Nope. James Gunn. James Gunn is out here saving the world. Yep, with this new Suicide Squad. You should have seen the amount of footage of stuff. Like not only they did like some kind of, it was sort of a teaser, but it was a teaser featurette where they just showed a bunch of footage and it's talking about how like this new Suicide Squad is gonna be there are all those other superhero movies. This is gonna be the one that nobody's ever seen before, and I hate with the highest of hate when they all say that.
They all say that. I'm like, no, it's not. They're like, oh, I mean, okay, maybe, okay. I take that back. Maybe if Todd Phillips had said that about the Joker, then I would have been like, okay, you're right. That is very different from every other comic book movie that I've ever seen. And it did win Oscars. Oh, I was gonna say but there is no but. That one was different. I mean, everyone always says that about. They do. Like James Gunn, you already made a comic book movie.
Exactly.
You made two of them.
You pretty much made this movie, but in space. Like, come on.
And he's
bro.
like, you know what? This one's gonna be the end all be all. I'm never gonna make another comic book movie again because this is the best movie I've ever made.
He had like ain't nobody else made a Suicide Squad movie. Like, come on now. Like,
he's like, this one's gonna be so different than anything you've ever seen before.
Oh my god!
I mean, different from the first Suicide Squad with some of the same characters.
With some of the, he even has some of the same.
Yeah. He's like, it's gonna be something you've never seen before. John Cena as a superhero. Okay, sure. Right. Thanks, James Gunn.
The only reason we haven't is because F9 was delayed. We would have seen John Cena as a superhero. Calm down.
I don't get the hype behind this featurette thing. I like some of it looks cool, but I mean, it's like, but it just really just looks like another superhero movie. I'm waiting for it to come out for me to just eat my own teeth or whatever. Eat my words. There That's what it is.
Okay.
Not eat my own teeth.
I eat my own teeth. I eat them like chiclets.
I'm waiting to eat my own words with this, but it really just looks like there's just like hella different locations, and they're just like in the jungle, and they're in the prison, and there's water, and it's like and it just looks like this really huge, gigantic movie, and it doesn't look. I don't know. I don't know. I can't agree with James Gunn
I think the biggest thing that's going to be different here than in other like DC movies, at least, is that they're leaning more towards how goofy comic books can be. Because you even have John Cena in here playing, like, and there are a bunch of characters in this movie that, like, nobody's ever gonna know unless they read like old school comic books and stuff like that, right? This is gonna be like deep cuts for like the comic book fans. But they're like, I think it's like Peacemaker he's playing, and if you look at their outfit, like they went comic book accurate on that thing. Like that's how ridiculous this is gonna be.
But I think it's funny how like Idris Elba plays. Well, I for the longest time I thought he was just recasting. I thought they hadn't announced it.
He was recast as Deadshot, but then they decided to change him to a less obscure Deadshot type character, in order to give Will Smith room to come back if he ever wanted to play Deadshot again.
That is smart of the DC executives. But it's funny how he is like this. Basically, he's basically Deadshot. He's Will Smith's Deadshot, very serious and all this stuff about his daughter and not cracking jokes and stuff. But he's on the same team as the Peacemaker, John Cena, who just looks very comic booky, right? And he just looks completely ridiculous. So I want to see. I think you're right. I think that James Gunn will do something different and be like, hey, yeah, look, these comic book movies, they're kind of dumb and weird or something like that. I don't know.
If Guardians is going to be anything to that matter, the character interactions will at least be fun, more so than they were in Suicide Squad 1, which was just deprived.
That it was fun when...
No, keep going.
I could reference any line from that movie. And it would work in the sentence. Okay. I was specifically talking about Joel Kinnaman when he was like, "That's Katana. She kills enemies with the sword. Her husband strapped in the sword." And he just looked dead in every audience member. He looked through the camera into every audience member's eyes, and it was like exposition.
I've never seen such a heavy exposition dump at the feet of people than that line.
And then Will Smith was just like, wow. And then they just like cut to the next scene. That movie, release the air cut, seriously, because we need. I don't believe that David Ayer made such a shitty movie.
All right. Speaking of cuts, I think the last thing we're going to end on before we end this part one, and then we go back into the next one. Snyder Cut is being released, and if you got the time, it's 4 hours long. Now, before y'all run away, before some of y'all get too excited, it's going to be released in 1 hour episodes on HBO Max. And then they're going to release a 4 hour, I guess, all put together version of it. So you can watch it in the 1 hour episode cuts, or you can watch it in the whole 4 hour stint, because Peter Jackson did it. So why not everybody else do it too, I guess? I don't even know. But, yeah.
I think it was... Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, what do you think?
Bro,
what do you think of all this? I don't think I've ever heard you talk about what you think of the Snyder Cut movement.
Really?
And then also I want to hear what you think. I mean, I already know it's going to be terrible. You're going to be like, oh, fuck them. So we can just skip past that if you want. But then I also want to hear your thoughts on the trailer.
So okay. Ooh, that's a lot. One, this whole movement, I think, has been like ridiculous. I think this has all happened because of the Batman v Superman thing, where they had the extended version, which honestly didn't make it better. It really didn't. All he added was a football game. And if we look at the trailer for this, guess what he added again? A football game. I don't know what's up with him in football games, but he really loves adding football games. They must solve all the problems.
I think he saw the Dark Knight Rises.
He was like, that was real cool.
He was like, damn, I got to start doing football games. And then he just has.
And that's the solution. But I really think this has just been like insane of the fans to just get like this dogged cultish like mentality of wanting this cut. And the thing is, people, there was no extra foot. Like the footage that wasn't used, yes, with like deleted scenes, and they probably just took it and retouched it and, you know, actually put it through the actual rest of the film processes. Then they got the actors and stuff and filmed them. So there wasn't just like this secret Ark of the Covenant Snyder cut just waiting to be released. They actually gave him money to film stuff because HBO Max wants to release original programming on the thing. That's
not my understanding.
Yeah.
When I first read this in Variety, that HBO Max or Warner Brothers, they told him that they can't bring any of the actors back to film anything. Like all of the stuff that they had, all of the stuff to make the cut couldn't have been it. It wasn't anything that he couldn't bring any of the actors back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I read. And like, so everything that's already in this trailer, which is completely different things, new things. There's new characters in here that were announced back when before Justice League came out. They were like, oh my gosh, I think it's Kiersey Clemens. She's playing like the Flash's love interest.
Oh, Iris.
She's in this trailer.
Okay, yeah, that like, so there are scenes in there that are like deleted scenes from, like, Iris scene was announced to be in like cut out of the Justice League movie and whatnot. Right. But I think Darkseid and stuff was like stuff that was added after the fact, like actual gone back, like maybe there were like previs, but then they actually like made the models, you know what I mean, like finished the process in order to make
that's not my understanding either, because I'm pretty sure I've read that there was a Darkseid. There's an actor who played Darkseid in the movie, and like if that's true, they couldn't have brought him back for this. I mean, they could have just fully CGI'd him.
Darkseid is full CGI. Yeah, that ain't no dude in the suit.
That wasn't my understanding from what I read. Like I read that there was an actual actor that played Darkseid.
Probably like mocap.
Am I thinking of the other
like
villain in
Steppenwolf?
Steppenwolf. No. I thought that there was an actual actor that played Darkseid.
Bro, if there was a dude in a suit, unless you're talking about like the mocap or whatever, like the mocap probably was there, and then, you know, you make the models and stuff like that afterwards.
Andy Serkis type.
Yeah. Maybe they had all that stuff beforehand, right?
Yeah.
And then they finished. Like, this stuff wasn't just sitting there. You know what I mean? I don't know where you read it. I don't think all of that stuff. No, I truly don't.
Huh.
I truly don't. I think that there was, you know, that they went back and filmed.
But from what I read in Variety, it's like,
yes, and Variety is the end all be all. Like, I don't know.
It's a very trustworthy source.
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
If they said that he couldn't go, they already are paying so much money for him to finish the visual effects, all of the CGI, all this other shit, the sound, everything, that they're paying the editors and all that shit, and for the studio space and all that. It's like they're paying for everything, and from what I read, they were like, you can't bring any of the actors back. What you shot is what you shot. You have to make your movie out of that. And yeah, we'll give you money to finish the CGI and all that shit, but you can't. We're not bringing back Ben Affleck.
Okay, so if they did, so they didn't bring the actors back. They did finish, like I said, they did finish all that post-production stuff. So that wasn't it. Like I said, that stuff wasn't sitting there. They paid the money to do all of like the CG. And stuff that's what I was saying.
I thought you were saying that they brought the actors back and stuff.
I was saying that before. Maybe they didn't. I don't know, because a lot of those scenes I don't know.
No,
you know,
no, the visual effects wasn't. You're definitely right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People sitting there like that. There's this whole half of the movie that was just sitting there for the longest time instead of just like,
it was all like green screen and shit. If they had released it when whatever, it would have looked terrible.
It would have looked terrible, right? So DC's paying these people to actually overwork in order to bring you this, which is probably going to be trash. All I'm saying is that they're putting all their rocks in this basket, or all their emotions in this basket, for something that's just not gonna pan out. It's just gonna be a overextended version of Justice League, which is already an okay movie, but all these extra scenes and things aren't gonna make it better. And honestly, I don't know why they think it would. Zack Snyder's not a great director, in my opinion. He's not. He's not one of my favorites. This trailer already proves that, with him using Hallelujah in the trailer.
I think he did that as a self-aware kind of thing. He was like, oh my god!
If so,
like,
it's a joke that ain't
thank
funny.
you, fans.
If it's a joke that ain't funny because using it in Watchmen in that sex scene gets on my nerves. And then all of the Jesus symbolism, not even in just Man of Steel or Batman v Superman, which is definitely in both, and in Justice League. Him himself say, like you said, thank you to the fan, hallelujah to the fans, your Lord and Savior Zack Snyder is back. Like I shut up, shut up. I'm done. Going in the corner.
Like I feel like
yes, yes, because I'm a comic book nerd. I'm going to watch it. I watched Batman v Superman. I watched the extended version of Batman v Superman because when I talk trash about something, I want to know what I'm talking about.
I understand that.
You know,
we gotta do a movie club on the Zack Snyder cut, and this shit that is probably gonna be really long.
I will say I did when I first, because I read it on an article that was going to be 4 hours long. They put it was clickbaited. They put it in the title. It's going to be 4 hours long. And I was already like, you motherfucker. But then I read the article. It's like, it's going to be 4 episodes that are 4 hours. I was like, you motherfuckers. Oh, y'all made me jump to anger. So I do like that it's going to be an hour long because it'd be like binging something on Netflix or something like that. At that point, when you think about it like that, that's fine. But 4 hours altogether, at some point you're up your own ass. And I'm gonna leave it there because we got to cut, and we'll see you in part 2. But Stephen, where can the people find you if they don't even want to go to part 2? Where can they find you?
If they don't want to go to part 2, you can follow me on YouTube at Cut to Black Film, and you can follow me on Letterboxd at Cut to Black. And then, of course, every Wednesday there's a movie club episode coming out. We've got some good stuff in the works. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good. I think some of the best episodes are yet to come.
Hey,
so you definitely want to.
I'm in the future episodes. Yeah.
Huh? Oh, you are in future episodes.
You can find all these episodes on iTunes. You know where to go. Like and subscribe on the YouTube. You tell people if you like it, if you love it, tell people, share it out, because that's the only way we're gonna be able to bring this to a larger audience, and maybe we get to do more special stuff, interviews, stuff like that. And the only way we can do that is help from you. Join us on Facebook where you can talk to us. You can throw out your thoughts underneath them little comments, and comment everywhere. We talk back. We talk junk. We ready to talk with it. Don't be scared, because we will bite you. But that's it. We out. His ass on your ass.
Be different from any superhero movie ever made.